The shuttle doors hissed open, releasing a thin cloud of recycled air tinged with metallic minerals. I stepped onto Xerion 5, one of the outer colonies in the Anran system, and immediately felt a strange pull in my chest. This wasn't just another planet. There was something familiar here, something my memory couldn't quite place. I was a human. That in itself was unusual. Humans were rare in the Anran territories, and even rarer in a place like Xerion 5, a mining colony orbiting a toxic orange sun. I'd been sent for reconnaissance, a covert mission disguised as a peacekeeping inspection. Orders from the Alliance were clear: find out why the colony had gone silent and report back. But as soon as I stepped into the colony hub, I realized this mission would be far from simple. The corridor was empty. A few alien workers, humanoid but with iridescent skin and glowing veins, paused as I passed. One girl, standing near the loading bay, froze completely. Her eyes were wide, pale lavender skin, silver hair tied in intricate braids, and violet eyes that shimmered like gemstones. She gasped, "Mother, it's him." The words cut through the hum of the colony's machinery. I stopped dead in my tracks. Part 2, recognition. I had no idea what she meant. "Excuse me," I asked cautiously. The girl's hands trembled as she backed away. "You're him, the one from the stories, the one my mother warned me about." I frowned. "I think you've got the wrong person." I know who you are," she said, her voice rising. "You're Daniel Cross, the human who saved our people decades ago." I froze. Memories I had buried for years surged back. I had been a soldier during the intergalactic conflict, a mission that took me to the Anran sector. I'd led a strike against the Xerion occupation fleet, saving hundreds of colonists, children, families, civilians from annihilation. Most had thought I died in the battle, my ship exploding in the upper atmosphere. But I had survived, scarred, disillusioned, and leaving my heroics behind as I wandered the outer systems. And now a child recognized me instantly. She ran toward the main docking bay, shouting something I couldn't catch. Soon, a tall alien woman emerged, her features elegant, her presence regal. Silver armor gleamed against her lavender skin. Her eyes were the same violet as the girl's. When she saw me, she froze. Her hand went to her chest. "Daniel," I swallowed hard. "Yes, it's me." The woman's lips trembled. She stepped closer, scanning me as if I were a ghost of her past. My son," she whispered. I blinked. I'm not your son. She shook her head, tears forming. "No, you're the one we thought we'd lost. The one who fought for us. The one who you saved us." Part 3, the colony's secret. The girl, who introduced herself as Liara, led me through the colony. She spoke excitedly, telling stories her mother had whispered for decades. Tales of a human hero who had destroyed the enemy fleet and ensured their survival. The colony, it turned out, had been living in hiding, protected by her family. They had kept the memory alive of me, almost as a legend, though I had thought those days were gone. Liara's mother, Commander Celera, explained everything. The enemy fleet had returned in secret, leaving the colony vulnerable. Only a few knew the truth. The human who had once saved them was still alive. "You're here at the perfect time," Celera said gravely. "We need you again. And Liara, she needs to know the truth about who you really are." Liara's gaze never left me. She studied me, trying to reconcile the heroic figure of her mother's stories with the man standing before her. Part 4, training and connection. The next few days were a blur of preparation. I trained the young defenders of the colony, teaching them tactics and strategies I had learned over years of combat. Liara stayed close, watching me move, asking questions, absorbing every lesson. At first, it was strictly professional. But as time went on, her curiosity turned into admiration and something more. I caught her staring when she thought I wasn't looking, and sometimes her hand brushed mine as we handled equipment. One evening, as we reviewed patrol strategies, she leaned closer. "You're not just a hero," she said softly. "You're extraordinary." I laughed lightly. Extraordinary is a strong word for a human soldier with a knack for surviving explosions. Her violet eyes met mine, unflinching. "You joke too easily. Do you always hide behind humor?" I shrugged. "Sometimes. It's easier than admitting what scares you." She tilted her head, studying me. Then she smiled, a real, radiant smile that lit her entire face. "Maybe. That's why I like you," she whispered. I felt heat rush to my face. I hadn't expected this, but something about the way she looked at me, it was different, genuine, vulnerable. Part 5, The Enemy Returns. It wasn't long before the enemy returned. A massive fleet appeared in orbit around Zarion 5, cloaked in stealth technology. They struck at night, hoping to take the colony unaware. Liara and I led the defense. I coordinated the remaining ships while she directed ground defenses. During the chaos, an enemy strike broke through. I found Liara cornered in a supply hangar, her back pressed against a wall as two heavily armed raiders advanced. "Step back," I shouted, drawing my sidearm. Liara's violet eyes widened. "Daniel." I didn't hesitate. I fired, taking out the raiders before they could strike. She stared at me, trembling. "You always save me," she whispered, her voice shaky. I pulled her close. "I told you, I always survive for a reason. Maybe for you." Her face flushed, and for a moment, the war, the chaos, and the destruction faded. Part 6, The Confession. After the battle, the colony was safe, though scarred. We stood together on the observation deck, looking out at the orange gas giant above the horizon. Silence stretched between us, heavy but not uncomfortable. Finally, Liara spoke. "Daniel, I don't know how to say this, but I feel something for you. Something I can't explain." I smiled gently. "I've felt the same, Liara, since the moment you recognized me. I don't know why, but it felt like fate." Her eyes glistened, violet, shining under the planet's dim light. She took a step closer, placing her hand on mine. "I never thought I'd meet you, not really. The stories, the legends, you were just a memory. And now, I said, drawing her closer, "we're here, together." She laughed softly, a melodic sound that cut through the tension of the past days. "You're ridiculous, Daniel Cross." "I prefer the term heroic," I replied, smiling. She shook her head, but the warmth in her eyes betrayed her amusement. Part 7, The Secret Revealed. Commander Celera approached, watching the two of us quietly. "You've done more than save the colony," she said. "You've given my daughter hope and a reason to believe in humanity again." Liara glanced at her mother, then back at me. "Daniel, I want to be honest. I cupped her face gently. Liara, whatever you feel, I feel it too, and I don't want to waste another second hiding it." She leaned into my touch, and our lips met, slow at first, then with growing urgency, a mix of relief and longing. Around us, the colony's lights shimmered, reflecting off the metallic walls. It was as if the universe itself had paused to witness this moment. Part 8, New Beginnings. Days later, the colony began to rebuild fully. Liara and I trained together, not just for defense, but to prepare for a future we didn't yet understand. We shared quiet moments, conversations in the observation deck, walks across the terrace colony gardens, laughter and stolen kisses. The bond between us grew stronger with each passing day, rooted not just in admiration, but in trust, respect, and a shared history of survival. One evening, as we watched the twin suns of Zerion, 5 set, she turned to me. Daniel, do you think we could ever leave this place? See more of the stars? I smiled, brushing her hair back gently. With you, I'd follow the galaxy to its edge. Her violet eyes shimmered. Then let's go together. We clasped hands, hearts synchronized, staring out at the endless expanse of space. The past, the battles, the separation, the years of legend mattered. But the future, that was ours. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel like just a survivor. I felt like a human with purpose, with love, with a life worth fighting for. Liara rested her head against my shoulder. Mother, you were right. He really did return. I smiled, pressing a kiss to her hair. And I'm never leaving. The stars twinkled beyond the station, countless worlds waiting for us. And together, we would face them all,